What keeps this hobby exciting and why I keep exploring is a fascination with the past and what I might find down that next road. Every location has its own story and history, so once again, let's explore and see what we find this time on the Backroads. In the early 1920s, this church was built, and on December 4th, 1925, the first service was held. It was known as the North Kotzman Ukrainian Greek Orthodox Church. Kotzman is the German spelling of Kitzman of the Kitzman district in Bukovina, Ukraine, the region from which most of the founding members came when they immigrated to Canada. A number of buildings that I explored just a few years ago have already been lost, and this keeps reminding me of how important it is to document these sites. On a recent revisit to this site, I found this school no longer exists, with just a few charred pieces of wood now remaining. Another piece of history is gone, with these being the final images. Throughout the early 1900s, the clay-plastered log house was the most common type of housing in Ukrainian settlements all across Western Canada. This is one of the better remaining examples that I have found on my travels. Not very common in Alberta are large stone buildings like this beautiful community hall. It was finished in 1935 and built out of fieldstones. In the middle of the Great Depression, volunteers used 199 wagon loads gathered by farmers to build the hall and sold $20 certificates to raise cash for lumber. In a small patch of forest behind a well-kept small cemetery with a single monument are these forgotten headstones. About 3 headstones in total that I could find with what looks to be Ukrainian inscriptions. This is the site of an abandoned chemical plant that dates to around the 1950s, with a gas turbine, valving, and a couple foundations, all that remains of the original plant. Harry Hill is a hamlet in Alberta that was established around 1907. It got its name from the large amounts of hair found by settlers that were shed by bison on the hillsides during spring. It once was a thriving community, but with the grain elevators and railway both gone and residents moving away, it has suffered a similar fate to so many of these rural communities. When I started this hobby over 4 years ago, I never imagined how much I would find, the many stories I would hear, and the history that I would learn. Unfortunately, over the past few years, I've also seen many locations disappear or fall into ruin. With these places documented, they will live on, and the search will continue as there is so much more waiting to be discovered on the Backroads.